All right, so for today's deep dive, we're heading over to Amsterdam.
How fun.
But we're not going to be hitting up all the typical tourist spots,
Yeah.
the usual, the Anne Frank house and that kind of thing.
Right.
We're going to get a little bit more off the beaten path today.
Interesting.
And uncovering what some are calling kind of a hidden culinary gem
Okay.
called Kanteen 25.
Kanteen 25.
Yeah.
And,
I'm always a little bit skeptical of those hidden gem claims.
yeah.
It's like, oh, is it really hidden or is it just,
Right. This is hype.
Yeah, is it hype? But the sources that
Yeah.
that we have here paint a pretty compelling picture, I gotta say.
Yeah, I was actually surprised, too. When I was looking over this stuff, I was like, wow, there's a lot more to this place than I thought.
Right.
It seems like it's way more than just delicious food.
Yeah.
Although it definitely sounds like they've got that covered.
Sure.
But it's their approach to sustainability that
Yeah.
seems to be generating all the buzz. It's really fascinating how they've managed to integrate sustainable practices into like every aspect of their operation.
Yeah.
It's not just like an afterthought or
Right.
like a marketing ploy, it's
Got
like woven into the very fabric of the restaurant.
Okay, so let's start unpacking this a little bit.
Yeah.
Where exactly is Kanteen 25?
All right. So Kanteen 25
Yeah.
is located on Amsterdam's Mariner Terring.
Meritarine.
Yeah, it's a former naval shipyard
Oh, okay.
that's been kind of revitalized into this vibrant waterfront district.
Okay, so already we're seeing this connection to history
Yeah,
and kind of repurposing something.
exactly.
But how does that translate to sustainability
Right.
in a restaurant setting?
Well, so the Mariner Terring itself
Right.
is like this model of sustainable urban development.
Huh.
They've implemented all these innovative solutions for energy efficiency,
Okay.
waste management, green spaces.
Wow.
So Kanteen 25 is already situated within this environment that like prioritizes these values.
Right, so the location itself is a reflection of their
Exactly.
overall ethos.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And what about the food itself?
Okay, so
How does the food tie into this whole sustainability theme?
their commitment to local sourcing is a huge part of it.
Okay.
They prioritize partnerships with nearby farms and fisheries,
Oh, wow.
making sure they're getting the freshest ingredients
Yeah.
and also minimizing their carbon footprint.
So they're walking the walk.
Exactly.
They're not just talking the talk.
Yeah.
And that local sourcing idea got me thinking.
Yeah.
Is Kanteen 25 all about traditional Dutch cuisine?
Okay.
Or is it more of an international affair?
So the menu is actually quite diverse.
Okay.
It draws inspiration from all these international flavors
So interesting.
while still emphasizing Dutch culinary traditions.
Okay.
So it's this really intriguing blend of like global influences and local ingredients.
You mentioned international flavors, and I have to admit, when I saw herb-crusted hake filet with tonka yuzu beurre blanc on the menu.
Oh, yeah.
My curiosity was piqued.
Right.
That's not your typical Amsterdam fare, is it?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
And that's what makes Kanteen 25 so unique.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to experiment with flavors and kind of push those culinary boundaries.
Right.
But even when they're exploring those international cuisines, that commitment to fresh local ingredients remains at the forefront.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
even with those international influences, they're still keeping it grounded in Dutch sustainability.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, I know we touched on this earlier,
Yeah.
but let's dive a little deeper into the specifics of Kanteen 25's sustainable practices.
Okay.
What else are they doing beyond just local sourcing?
Well, their commitment extends beyond just the ingredients.
Okay.
They've implemented a number of eco-friendly practices throughout their operation,
Uh-huh.
from energy-efficient appliances
Okay.
to composting and waste reduction programs.
Oh, wow.
They even use biodegradable packaging whenever possible.
Okay, so they're really taking like a holistic approach here.
Yes, they've thought about every detail, from the food on your plate to the container it comes in.
Exactly.
I'm starting to understand why this hidden gem
Hmm.
is getting so much attention.
Yeah, and they're setting a new standard for what it means to be a sustainable restaurant.
Yeah.
And it's not just about being environmentally responsible.
Right.
It's about creating a better dining experience overall.
Yeah, and speaking of the dining experience, let's talk about the atmosphere they've cultivated at Kanteen 25.
Okay.
Because the sources paint this picture of like this effortlessly chic,
Yeah.
welcoming vibe.
Yeah.
Like it's not stuffy or pretentious,
Mm-hmm.
which is refreshing.
Right. Yeah, the words industrial chic come up a few times.
Uh-huh.
Exposed brick, warm lighting, natural elements.
Yeah.
It sounds like they've managed to strike that perfect balance between modern and inviting.
And don't forget the views.
Oh, the view.
Kanteen 25 overlooks the water, right?
That's right. Yeah, imagine enjoying your meal with a panoramic vista of the harbor.
Wow.
You've got the historic ships, the Nemo Science Museum's iconic green structure.
Uh-huh.
It all creates this really unique backdrop.
Okay, now I'm really feeling that Amsterdam charm coming through.
Right.
But it's not just about casual dining, is it?
It's not, no?
They also host events.
They do, yes.
What's interesting here is their versatility.
Yeah.
They can accommodate everything from intimate gatherings
Right.
to larger celebrations
Yeah.
with up to 300 guests.
300 guests, that's right.
Wow. They must have some pretty impressive event spaces.
They do,
Yeah.
and their approach to events kind of mirrors their culinary philosophy.
Okay.
They offer these custom-tailored menus focusing on seasonal ingredients and those surprising flavor combinations.
So whether you're planning a small family dinner
Yeah,
or a huge corporate event,
right.
Kanteen 25 can create this unique experience that reflects your vision.
Exactly.
But hold on a second.
Okay.
I'm seeing something in the sources about a hotel.
Oh, yes, Rooms 25.
Rooms 25.
This is where things get really interesting. Picture this. You attend an event at Kanteen 25,
Yeah.
enjoy a fantastic meal,
Yeah.
and then instead of heading home, you simply ascend to your boutique hotel room upstairs.
Wait, the hotel is literally above the restaurant.
It is.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, no need to worry about transportation or finding a separate place to stay.
Exactly.
It's this seamless extension of the Kanteen 25 experience.
Wow. I can only imagine the views from those rooms are just spectacular.
Oh, I bet.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued.
Yeah.
But let's shift gears for a moment.
Okay.
We've talked a lot about sustainability and unique features,
Uh-huh.
but what about the overall dining experience?
Okay.
What kind of atmosphere can a diner expect at Kanteen 25?
Well, the sources emphasize this warm, inviting atmosphere.
Okay.
They use words like convivial and unpretentious to describe the vibe. It seems like they've managed to create a space where everyone feels comfortable and welcome.
That's really important. You want a place that feels accessible
Yeah.
and inviting, not intimidating. And speaking of accessibility,
Yeah.
the sources don't mention anything about Kanteen 25 being, like, overly expensive
Yeah.
or exclusive, right?
No, not at all.
Okay.
They seem to be striking that balance between offering a high-quality, unique experience
Yeah.
while remaining approachable and welcoming to a wide range of diners.
That's good to hear, because sometimes when you hear sustainable,
Yeah.
local, and unique,
Yeah.
you automatically assume expensive.
Right. Exactly.
But it sounds like Kanteen 25 is defying that stereotype.
They are absolutely. They're proving that sustainability and accessibility can go hand in hand.
Yeah.
And that brings us back to the bigger picture,
Okay.
the growing trend of conscious dining.
Right. People are becoming more aware of the impact of their food choices.
Yeah.
Not just on their own health,
Right.
but on the environment and the community as a whole.
Exactly. And Kanteen 25 is clearly tapping into that shift in consumer awareness.
Yeah.
They're not just serving food. They're serving an experience
Yeah.
that aligns with a set of values.
And that, I think, is what sets them apart.
Uh-huh.
It's not just about the delicious food or the beautiful setting.
Right.
It's about the conscious choices they're making at every level.
And that resonates with diners who are looking for something more than just a meal.
Yeah.
They're looking for a connection, a story, an experience that aligns with their own values.
Okay. I'm sold. I need to experience this for myself.
Me too.
So for our listeners who are probably just as eager as I am to check out Kanteen 25,
Yeah.
what's the best way to learn more?
Their website is a great resource.
Oh.
You can find their full menu photos of the space information about their events and even take a virtual tour.
Perfect. And we'll be sure to include a link to their website in the show notes.
Awesome.
Now, as we wrap up this deep dive into Kanteen 25, I want to come back to something you mentioned earlier.
Okay.
This idea of conscious dining.
Yes. It's a fascinating concept, isn't it?
It is, but I think it's more than just a concept. It's becoming a movement.
Mm-hmm.
And Kanteen 25 seems to be at the forefront of that movement.
Absolutely. They're showing that you can have it all.
Yeah.
Delicious food, beautiful setting, unique experiences,
Uh-huh.
and a commitment to sustainability.
And that, I think, is the real takeaway here.
Yeah.
Kanteen 25 isn't just a restaurant. It's a statement.
It's a statement about what's possible when you prioritize both pleasure and responsibility.
And that's a statement I can definitely get behind.
For sure.
But I'm curious to hear your final thoughts.
Okay.
What stands out to you the most about Kanteen 25? And what do you think makes it so special?
You know what stands out to me is their seamless integration of sustainability.
Yeah.
It's not just a marketing tactic.
Yeah.
It's woven into every aspect of the experience,
Yeah.
from the location and the ingredients to the atmosphere and the overall ethos.
You're right. It's not just a box they're checking. It's a core part of their identity.
Exactly. And that authenticity is what makes it so compelling.
Yeah.
They're not preaching sustainability.
Right.
They're living it.
And I think that's what resonates with diners today.
Yeah.
People are looking for businesses that align with their values.
Absolutely. And Canteen 25 demonstrates that sustainability isn't about sacrifice.
Yeah.
It's about enhancing the experience. It's about connecting with your food, with the environment, and with the community.
So for our listeners who are now ready to add Canteen 25 to their Amsterdam itinerary,
Yes.
what's the best way to learn more?
Their website, canteen25.nl, is a great place to start.
Okay.
You can explore their menu, browse their event options, and even take a virtual tour of the restaurant and rooms 25.
Perfect. We'll be sure to include that link in the show notes.
Great.